Welcome back to the dock. Welcome back to the dockside here at the Chicago Yacht Club, the 103rd running of the race to Mackinac, and we are here with Bob Hillier from Line Honors Yacht Racing Outfitters, our title sponsor for this coverage, and a guy who I just keep crossing paths with. How are you doing, Bob?
I'm doing well, Alan. Good to see you guys.
I don't know how you run a business when you're out. I mean, I see an Antigua, I see everywhere. How do you run? Honestly, you got a successful business in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. You're the exclusive Musto dealer for the Midwest, and I know you outfit a whole bunch of this fleet. How do you run a business when you go off sailing all the time?
Well, that's part of the business. You know, you go out and network, and let me go ahead and say it. My wife does a lot of work back home while I'm off sailing.
Good. So, you did a good thing just there.
I've got a good support circle back home. She runs the shop back in Lake Geneva when I'm out sailing, and so good teamwork there. So that's how we get it done.
So what are some of the boats we're going to obviously be doing the live coverage tomorrow? What are some of the boats we want to look for your team gear?
Well, Flash Gordon is a great team for us. We've been doing their gear for the last couple of years.
Top FAR 40 team.
Yeah, top FAR 40 team. So we've been doing their gear, and then we do a lot of just individual guys out here on the water too. So a lot of the boats, you'll see it. As you said, the Musto dealer for the Midwest. We also feature the Harkin Sport Gear, Zyke, taking on Magic Marine.
Well, that's a good. Hey, you guys, some good news there.
They're going in for 2012 with Magic Marine, and then we also do Gill and some other brands. So we do outfit a lot of sailors out of the area. So we're proud of that. And then, you know, you'll see our belts everywhere. Hopefully, our T-shirts. We do a lot of what I like to think of as guerrilla marketing for the product line here. So
we were on board with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of one question. I think maybe our audience that's overseas or on the West Coast or whatever. I don't think people really understand how much sailing is in the Midwest. And obviously you're in the heart of it, not just Lake Michigan here, but you've got all the little lakes in there. You got Melgus Boatworks in right on your lake. You know, how much, I mean, it seems like there are thousands of boats that are racing in the Midwest on any given week.
Yeah, I mean, back home in Lake Geneva, every night of the week, basically, there's scow sailing, of course, or Melgus 24 sailing.
I actually grew up sailing the Butterfly and MCs,
John and I were just talking, the open Bic fleet in Lake Geneva is up to, I think, 12 or 13 privately owned open Bics and growing. And so it's just, there's a variety of sailing here. And of course, I've got friends that come up here from Florida in the summertime because South Florida sailing gets kind of weak. They come up here and they cannot believe the quality of a Chicago Nude or Verve, or of course the Mackinac, the quality of the boats that you see out here, the size of the boats, the 50-foot plus range, they just don't have it. And so it's really impressive. And from small boat to big boat, the Midwest really packs a big season in a short time. You know,
I mean, I've always found, obviously living in Detroit, I found that, you know, because the season's only about 6 months long, the racing is that much more intense. And guys from Seattle or San Diego or South Florida come up here and they go, wow, this is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's every weekend. Like I said, I mean, there's really, out of CYC here or Columbia or the other yacht clubs, it's every night of the week. So it's really pack it in from, you know, middle of May until September. It's time to sail.
And then go traipse around the Caribbean like you do.
Yeah, and hit the Caribbean circuit if you're lucky enough to be able to find a nice owner to take you with them.
Well, speaking of owners, you're talking about boats. What are you sailing this weekend?
I'm on Spirit Walker. It's Sydney 41, John, and it's built in 1994 out of Sydney, Australia, and actually its first race out of the box was the Sydney to Hobart race. There's actually 3 Sydney 41s in the race. Great boat. It's even though it's built in 94, it's really solid. Great sail inventory. I've got a great crew. The owner, Vern McCain, is a great guy. He kind of lets me run the show for him and pick the crew, and we just have a really good time and really good success. We've won our section twice in 06 and 09 and have finished 4th and 2nd overall in the MAC on the boat. So we've had some good success.
What section are you?
Section 3.
Section 3.
Yep.
And we're going to have a little bit of downwind. Is that going to help you out?
Well, the pressure looks maybe a little too light for our liking. We'd like to have more pressure square back, you know. So we'll see how it goes. You know, we do okay. We've got, you know, a pretty good sized kite, pretty good downwind speed. But we're racing against some asymmetricals versus symmetricals, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
And, Bob, what other boats are in your class?
There's a couple of boats that kind of stick out are the other Sydney 41s. Scout which has done really well at the other Sydney 41. Edge, the J130, has had some great success. Eagle's Wings. So there's a variety of other boats that have done, and the majority of our boats are, I guess the fleet's kind of, our particular fleet with the FAR, I think there's FAR 395s in there, but it's kind of split with the symmetrical versus asymmetrical. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We do have J111s in our section as well. So that's kind of one of those unknown this season.
And some really good sailors on those boats.
Yeah, so it's going to be, we'll have our hands full to do well. If we can somehow get into the top 5, maybe a podium finish, we'll be pretty pleased. So.
I've actually, to get into the symmetrical, asymmetrical thing a little bit,
yeah.
A lot of the guys are talking about, if it's really downwind, the symmetrical guys have an advantage,
right.
Even though the symmetrical is more, up to date.
Yeah.
Explain that a little bit.
Well, I think when it's really downwind, we can basically square back and run so deep, or literally, running a 150 pair of wind angles. So we can skid the boat very deep. The problem in the Mac, you have such a long, race to the Manitous, it all depends on the direction of the wind, and if it's forward a little more than we are liking, it definitely goes against us. So it's everybody's racing for that funnel up at the Manitous, and we'll see how we fan out in that. But
and a lot of times it's kind of a beat through there.
Yeah, it can definitely be a beat. Which, when it turns out, when we start going more upwind, then we'll definitely come into our own wheelhouse.
You have a Sydney Hobart boat.
Yeah, Sydney Hobart. She loves going upwind. Anywhere from, it really eats it up from 7 to 12 knots. We'll really go upwind really well. 13 to 20 knots. Again, we switched right immediately to the number 3, and she just goes very well. Really driven off the main, the City 41, and a lot of main power.
What's your polar with that? What speed are you hitting upwind?
We're looking basically 7.1 to 7.3 upwind.
So you're pretty even with the 111s too, even though they just came out.
Yeah, I think what it all depends there. Now you're looking at sea state, so the bigger sea state will probably go through the water a little better than the J111 is my guess. It's once again an unknown quantity with the J111 a little bit, but I think if we have more on the nose, a little heavier sea, I think we'll go through the water a little better. The 41 will definitely cut upwind better than I would think a J111.
So switch gears a little bit. My Facebook inbox is blowing up with Spirit Walker stuff, and it seems like the Spirit Walker crew, they're all just banging out Facebook information. Are you guys going to put any effort into updating that when you have a signal offshore when someone's off watch?
Yeah, we'll definitely try to do something on that. Put some posts on it. I think it's Team Spirit Walker Sailing is the Facebook page. So we'll try to update that when we can, absolutely, and we'll see if we can do that.
And what about Line Honors? You guys have a pretty nice fan base too on Facebook at facebook.com/Line Honors. You going to be trying to put some stuff up there as well?
Yeah, we'll try to definitely put posts, and we appreciate everybody that has liked us on Facebook, and I think that's a neat growing segment where we can do updates on new product releases and stuff like that. So it's definitely a tool we're using more and more. But yeah, we'll try to do some updates, see what kind of time I have. I'm one of the primary drivers. So, I should have some time, I guess.
It's hard to type into an iPhone while you're driving. I know that.
I've done it though, but it's not impossible. But the crew kind of gives me some crap, so I gotta watch that.
And you were also really quick to put our Justin TV player right up on the linehonors.com website.
Yeah, go to linehonors.com, and immediately on the home page you'll find the On the Water Anarchy Justin TV link, so you can go to the live coverage and watch all the footage.
So you can watch the coverage on a bunch of different sites, but be sure to check out linehonors.com and support them for helping to bring live coverage of this event to the web. It's great stuff. It's a new world, and I think we'll have a lot of people watch tomorrow.
Fantastic. We're Line Honors. My wife Erica and I are glad to be a part of it, and excited you guys are here actually supporting the event like you are, and so I think it's going to be great for the people that aren't here and the sailors afterwards to watch the event. It's exciting.
All right,
yeah, thanks Bob for helping us get here. Helping to get me here, I think, was the biggest thing.
Right there, because you guys are so much better than I am. But be sure to check out tomorrow morning. Remember, Saturday, 10:30, live, start of the Mackinac race. We'll be starting at Navy Pier, watching the sort of parade of boats that they do, and you'll get to see the cool Line Honors gear that Bob brought us down. And be sure to check them out at linehonors.com. And good luck, man. Good luck on the race. Kick ass, all right?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.